All right, so now we're ready for an evening. Let's have a party. All right, this is a time you've worked hard and you want to relax and you're crashing and on and on and on. What do we do? Well, I've given you a couple already. You can have a cookie or a brownie, all right? And we have to have something at 9 o'clock. Now, there's soft serve. There's some ice cream. Okay, that's kind of fun to do. It's a little bit interesting to fool around with. You have to use a blender, that kind of thing. You also have other treats and snacks. You can have pretzels. There's cheese puffs. There's cheese balls. There's other kinds of things up there. We have stuff that you can use. You can also use the cereals. These are now cereals that have the soy protein isolate. Soy protein is the highest quality protein, although I still kind of like a balance. Mix your whey and your soy. You'll hear that kind of technical stuff. A variety of fruits and vegetables, a variety of proteins is all fine. I tend to like our food that has the soy in it. That just is good for me in a whole bunch of ways. But what are we going to do? You've had the coffee for breakfast in the morning, so maybe you're crashing from caffeine. And now you want the alcohol at night. That's our American way. We have coffee and starch for breakfast, and we have alcohol. Every single television show ends up with people relaxing with alcohol. That's product placement, I'm sure. All right, we don't have to have alcohol, and unfortunately, you can't really do that on Medifast or on this program because it just wipes you out. It wipes out a whole bunch of ways. It's going to pull you out of fat burning on a regular basis. You're going to do this your way. Be Slim says you have breakfast. You're having food every 3 hours. We put these little poker chips in you and get that food system really down. You're going to take some exercise. B-E, Slim, exercise. S is support. I want you to have people around. I want you to call Mary Lou. I want you to call me. I want you to ask, hey, I'm struggling. I'm suffering. Call me. Don't worry. I'm not going to be too busy. Ron Geltz is a wonderful coach with us. I swear he answers his phone in the shower. He answers his phone all the time. Almost no matter where I am. Not true. If he's with a coach or a client, then he'll call me instantly right back. We're looking at professional coaching. One of the things you'll be doing as you get really expert on the details of the food is you'll start looking at how we help others. How you help your loved ones. We don't care about anybody else. Right now, it's who you are and your loved ones. And you mentioned there's carbs and there's spoiled children and there's whatever, spoiled husbands, whatever you got. So that you've got to find a way where you discipline it, where you say no, where you keep your environment healthy, where you no longer attend. There's the famous story of the 2 or 3, I guess 4-year-olds. And they had a big marshmallow in front of them, and everybody wanted the children wanted the marshmallow. Well, if you'll just delay, not eat the marshmallow, I'm going to leave the room. If you don't have one marshmallow, I'll bring you another one. All right? And 50, I don't know, not very many of the children were able to delay, but those that were distracted themselves. They started looking around the room, they started playing underneath the chair, whatever. Distract yourself. Do not spend all your time looking at the food that you really love. Look at other things. Find programs, read a book, call your friends, take a walk, figure out ways to distract yourself. That's very, very important to do. All right, so we have the evening meal. Now we've got the lean and green. That's big, that's huge, and you can, if you've got a Mary Lou or you've got somebody who can help cook with you, that's really terrific. I showed you the Subway salad, which is the way I cook. I had them have just a few banana peppers, all of the vegetables, no jalapeno, no pickles. The pickles are too salty and sour. I haven't come to a point where I need the salt. I do have, this is very low sodium. I didn't realize there was a difference. You can buy low sodium, water-packed tuna. You can buy very low sodium. This is too salty for me. Interesting, who knew? As I say, I mix the very low sodium into my soup. There's just enough of the salt in the soup so that I have protein. You're going to try to get the program tends to have at least 70 grams of protein. So how much protein is in your dinner here? This particular thing has 16 grams with one serving. So there's 2 servings, so we're about 30 grams of protein right here. You don't need an awful lot of protein. Now, if you're exercising, if you're building muscle, okay, you can argue. Let's go up to 100 grams. And bodybuilders want you to have half your body weight in protein, whatever formulas. You'll find hundreds of formulas. Find the right kind of things. I did want to show you the recipe guide. There, I got that one out. Well, this was the old original recipe guide. And it had some nice things. Well, actually, this is this is a special Medifast book. I haven't used this in a long time, where you actually take in and add flavor and variety to some of the food that you're eating. This is the Medifast recipe book, and you can go ahead and zoom in here. I'm going to flip through this a little bit, and I'm not going to be able to see much of what's going on, but I'll try to keep it steady. So we have introductions, but there's all different kinds of food, and this is analyzed in detail. At the bottom of each of these meals is full nutritional documentation. How much carbs, how much protein, how much saturated fat, how much sodium, how much fiber, etc. So this is now where we're actually studying food. You're going to become expert, and if you cook the meals, it tells you exact serving sizes. So this would be your big education if you want to go ahead and learn to be a cook, a mother, if you want to cook this with your husband, if with your family, maybe this could be fun. Decide on a meal, which of these pictures look the best, so that you can actually cook lean and green meals together. There's a bunch of fish meals, there's pork meals, there's chicken meals, there's low-fat protein and fibrous carbs. That's what we're doing, not starchy carbs. The bar has 5 grams of protein, or 10 grams of protein and 4 grams of fiber so it's fibrous carbs and very low-fat protein. Those are the lean and green meals. You're going to have a nice meal. You're going to have a meal out if you want to. You're going to have a meal together. The program is flexible. You can go out for breakfast. If you're a business person, you can have a breakfast, have your lean and green meal for breakfast. You can then have it for lunch, or you could have it for dinner. The restaurants will tell you, will serve things, and if they bring you your broccoli soaking in butter, you can ask them to bring it in water. You ask beforehand. Tell them that you want, I just tell people, what do I get? Where do I get some low-fat protein and some vegetables? And they'll give me that. Everybody has a salad. Start with a salad. Make the salad your main meal. I often carry protein, as you saw, in my little bags. I love these little bags. And so I always have some sardines, or I have some tuna fish with me. So I can order a vegetarian entree at a restaurant, because I can have the protein later or in my car or other places. When I'm serious about the program, I'm not interested in being a gourmet or tasting these wonderful concoctions. That's not my focus. My focus is on healthy eating, is on staying on my program, on getting the exact right nutrient in me. You can look at this food tube as one thing. You can also look at the liver, which is the sac. For the first 2 or 3 days, and that's why you're so good right now, you've cleaned out your liver. You've been on a fasting program. You just had a procedure, so that your liver has already, you've dumped much of your sac. You can develop a fatty liver, all right, from having the nonsense in the world. The liver is God's gift. It cleans this stuff out. I don't want to fill up my liver. I want my food tube in good shape, and I want my liver left alone. It'll handle whatever else I'm having. So, sorry about that. You will be finding substitutes for your wine. Now, there are Medifast drinks and shakes and other kinds of things. Mary Lou will tell you how to do that kind of stuff. I don't do that. I just don't do alcohol, period. I get good feelings from good ideas. God talks to me direct. I lay down somewhere and think, shut up, listen, and ideas come to me about how I can change, how I can grow, how I can improve, who I should talk to, what's important in my life. One way of looking at this program is eat right, exercise, and prioritize. What's important, okay? So that's what you need to be looking at. As you told me that you're ready for another 50 years soon. So that's great. What are you going to do with that? And if we give you a really powerful, strong body, what kind of fun can you have in the evening? Can you have friends? Can you call friends? What do you want to do? Okay, etc., etc. If you get good, you'll end up calling some of your clients. Okay, you'll help other people. You say, how are you doing? Just, call them up. My phone is just magic. Right now it's functioning as a timer and saying I'm almost out of time. But the phone, I've put people in my phone now, and the favorites and numbers in front of the favorites and things, so the phone sorts people. My very favorite people come up to me all the time, and it's just great. I use that as a way to control and do the coaching. We are connecting, we're communicating. So one step at a time. I think that's a bit of a discussion. I do have... there's a number of things. The Orbit gum is there, okay, as you go into ketosis, and sometimes if you're not hydrated well enough, people will complain about your breath. So use some sugar-free gum, okay, just have that around. I keep that always in the backpacks that I have with me. But I do my cheers to God, okay, you're doing the fluids. When you're thirsty at night, when you're looking for your glass of wine, flavor it, or maybe make different kinds of Crystal Light. Mary Lou has some exotic forms of Crystal Light. Remember aspartame again. So, but there were strange things in here. There's margaritas and there's other kinds of Crystal Light you could play with. There's orange juice flavored Crystal Light and other things. Look carefully to make sure that you have the right kind of stuff. You'll figure it out. You'll find a way to stay on program. You've got to do the Quick Start Guide. I've offered varieties. I've offered little bits of different. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm not as successful as I should be. I've got one coach who just says, "You're not on program. You're not on program. You had whatever you had." Okay, be 100% as much as you can be. Shift in a direction. Learn to be in a direction, because then you can celebrate at night and enjoy. You don't weigh every day. You'll read the Quick Start Guide. You weigh once a week. But you can. Now, one of the things I was going to show you is we do have the body fat meters, and we can show you that kind of stuff. There's also tons of material on the website, and there is Support in Motion, where you actually go to the support websites. And if you have more than 100 pounds to lose, if you're over 50 years old, if you're whatever, nursing mother. They have large groups of people who are doing the program. Medifast is a very large program now, and there are lots of people who are there. So go in and read. Make a little graph of where your progress is so you keep your eye on the goal. One of our coaches has eat every 3 hours, drink your water, and keep your eye on the goal. On the Medifast support website, that'll be there. So that's a thing you can do at night. It's a new habit where you can make some new friends. You can you can celebrate you and the progress you've made, and you can also help and share ideas and tricks and ways that you've been successful. So it's fun at night. Get to bed early. You can use a little bit of the melatonin. There are melatonin supplements if you have trouble sleeping. There may eventually be so much energy that you will have some trouble sleeping, that you wake up full of energy, leaving you in God's state, not full of starchy carbs and coffee and alcohol, leaving you in a natural state. We want you to have God's food plain as much as you can, or scientifically designed food that can leave you healthy while you're losing this body fat you've accumulated from the American cultural system. Once out, we'll be going into transition and maintenance. That's the second part of the Quick Start Guide. I don't want you looking at that right now. Just look at the first 8 pages, but let's have those memorized. And let me know. Call me at night if you need to, and we'll talk. All right? And let's end this video now.